Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews. I'm Braden, and I watched Thor Love and Thunder in theaters, so it's going to be time to talk about it, my thoughts on it, and all the controversies going on. Is the MCU dead? All that stuff, along with my review for the movie. So today, we're going to be talking about Thor Love and Thunder, so let's talk about it. So, Thor Love and Thunder takes place right about after Endgame, maybe a little after when Thor's still with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he sort of splits up with them. He's going on his task or mission to stop Gore the God Butcherer, and Jane comes back and she returns as the mighty Thor, having the power of Thor with Mjolnir, and that's about the basic premise of this movie. Originally, I was never really looking forward to this movie. Like, I knew that Taika was directing. That was a positive. But other than that, I was like, everything that they're announcing with Jane, everything that they're announcing with Thor, everything with the Guardians of the Galaxy, everything that they announced brought me still to just that, like, you haven't sold me on the movie yet. And then the reviews came in for it, and they were pretty mixed. There was quite a few reviews that were positive and said that it was a great movie. They had a fun time with it. And then a bunch of other YouTubers and other reviewers said that it was just trying to get the comedy. It took comedy over everything else. And that it sort of destroyed Thor for them and Taika for them. And they feel very disappointed, and they're done with the MCU for now. And so I wasn't going to see it in theaters. I went up country in Massachusetts to see my family, and then we went to see it. They want to check it out, so I went, I watched it, and I'll say this, it isn't as bad as some people are saying it, but it isn't as good as some people are saying. That's what I'm saying for it, because if you were really looking forward to this movie, you're probably going to be disappointed. If you were like me, you're just sort of mid, like, I'm not really looking, I don't think it's going to be a whole bunch. It'll either meet your expectations, where it's just going to be fine / not very good, or you'll be a bit surprised by it and you'll actually like it. It's sort of like in the middle for me for the MCU stuff. It does have quite a few problems with it that we'll be addressing, but I feel it did take the comedy over everything else, and that sort of faltered the rest of the movie. I did laugh a ton at a bunch of stuff, but other stuff just fell flat for me. Some just really stupid stuff that they put in the movie that seems funny at first, but after rethinking it, you're like, that's not going to hold up, and stuff like that. The CG here doesn't 100% work. A bunch of the stuff looks pretty bad. I feel like Thor is a really stupid character in this movie. I don't care for Korg in this movie, which is really sad, because I loved him in Ragnarok. Same with Valkyrie. I don't care about her in this movie because they don't really give her an arc or anything to happen with her. Nothing happens with her. And then I think the big standout in this movie was Gore. Gore was my favorite character in this movie. He was just played so well by Christian Bale. He was so creepy yet so just interesting. The movie starts, the first scene is with Gore, and it's great. But for the rest of the stuff in the movie, it doesn't feel on the same level as Gore. Where Gore, we're going through, and this is like an epic journey where he's like killing off the gods because of something that happened with his daughter. They didn't help him with his daughter, and so he's gonna go and murder them all, and he's being very serious, zero jokes, like he's killing everybody. And then you have everything else in the movie, which is turned up to 1,000 comedy jokes, little things here and there, everything trying to make you laugh. And some people felt that Thor Ragnarok took some of the comedy over the actual plot and the rest of the movie, the emotions. I feel valid criticism, but I still love Ragnarok, and I don't feel like that was a problem. This movie, it is a problem. A bunch of the emotions don't hit because we're not really focusing on them. We're focusing on the comedy. And to just move on from my basic thoughts, into more specific details without 100% spoiling anything. Stuff with Jane that happened in this movie I thought was well done, but I don't care about Jane in this movie. And then Korg, like in the trailer, he's narrating the entire movie, and I thought that was good. It seemed good at first. It seemed interesting. It's just like, oh, we're doing something different. And then it sort of just made it feel a bit more childish because Korg, it just doesn't work there, and it didn't fit at the end of the day when we're going through the end of the movie. All the color and stuff that was in Ragnarok, there's still a bunch of color and cool stuff, but there's less of that. There's less of like, wow, that actually looks pretty good. No, it's more like, oh, okay, that was sort of mid, sort of medium, sort of just for the color and stuff. It's not as giant as I was hoping it would be, and I feel bad about that. Other thing to talk about, Zeus is in this movie, played by Russell Crowe, and I don't think Zeus really worked in this movie. Him as a character is one of the biggest examples of too goofy, just like Korg. It's Korg and Zeus are the two goofiest ones, along with Thor. Other thing, the Guardians of the Galaxy are out of this movie within the first 15 minutes. They're gone. You don't see them again. They're just what you see in the trailers, and that's it. And so just to end my thoughts, and then we'll be going into specifics with the spoilers, I'm giving Thor Love and Thunder a 7 out of 10. I had a fun time with it, had some good moments, but overall it did sort of fail. And to get into specifics here, I feel everything with Gore in this movie was great. Specifics, when his daughter dies, when he goes to the gods, when he kills them, it's great. You get to see him going through the shadows and living in this like shadow realm. That's great. He steals these children, which feels a bit goofy, but he's taking them to get Thor, making Thor come out, and that works. That works for Gore, and he does a great job, Christian Bale does, playing this character who just looks terrifying and has this presence to him where he walks in the room and you know that he's there, sort of a thing. The final battle with him, what he does with getting I think Stormbreaker to open this gates to Eternity so they could ask Eternity to bring his daughter back, I think that was so great. Eternity is a character from the comics, and I was not expecting Eternity to show up in this movie at all. And then also the stuff with his daughter, that worked really well. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. The ending and the beginning with Gore, and just how they concluded everything with his daughter being born from Eternity, and she's actually resurrected, sort of, and she's also Gore's daughter. And then Thor adopts her, and Love and Thunder. Her name is Love, and Thor's got thunder. So that just works really well as a nice sort of callback to the title, just like in Ragnarok, where some movies, Thor Dark World, wow, they want to turn the world dark. Did they do that? No, so it doesn't work. Ragnarok actually happens. Love and Thunder actually happens. So I really enjoyed that. But the stuff with Thor, I don't even think he has a character arc here where he gets fit, he's trying to find his purpose, he's fighting every once in a while, he goes on this journey, he gets some goats, and he does his stuff with Jane. Jane dies, he sort of has maturity to let Jane die. And he adopts Love. Okay, not a whole bunch there. Let's talk about Jane. She's got cancer here, and I didn't care about Jane before. I still don't care about Jane now that she's got powers. That actually makes it worse for me. I don't feel like the comedy with her works when she has the stuff. One thing that I did enjoy was the sort of jealousy going on between Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. That worked pretty well, I would say. I laughed at that. The other thing that I think is the best joke in the entire movie is when you have Matt Damon and the other guy playing Thor and Loki, and then Hela, and they're going through their skit of Ragnarok. That was probably what made me laugh the most. Other funny things I found when you went to like the place where the gods were with Zeus, there were some cool gods there that just made me laugh. It just looks so weird and goofy. Other things, how Zeus is killed and then resurrected. It doesn't really feel like anybody dies in the MCU anymore. Russell Crowe's Zeus, he survived, even though a lightsaber went, no, not a lightsaber, but a lightning bolt went straight through his chest. Jane does die and goes to Valhalla, but she's in Valhalla and we get to see her, so is she really dead? Can she come back to life? I don't know. The stuff with the kids in the movie, I thought I should mention, I didn't really care about the kids getting the power of Thor for a bit. It was fun, it was cute, it was just like, oh well. It didn't fit the final battle sort of thing that I was hoping for. And then other things here, Korg specifics, like his entire journey, he doesn't really do much in this movie. None of the comedy works. Valkyrie, she's like the king of Asgard, and then she doesn't want to be, and so she isn't. Is that the story? I don't get it. And then if we're talking about the 2 post-credits scenes, we get to see Hercules shows up, and it's like, wow, I don't really care once again. And then I think a bunch of people were judging this movie as like the downfall of Phase 4 because they love Ragnarok so much. They're like, okay, they've had a few hits, but this is the movie that's going to decide it, and it failed, and so they were really disappointed. And even if they gave it like a positive score, like a 5.5 out of 10, just barely making it, they still like, I'm done with the MCU. And me, I am going to wait until Phase 4 is over to judge Phase 4. I'm going to wait till the end of the year till I do that video discussing Phase 4. But I feel like Phase 4 has had a lot more flaws. When it finishes up, I'll do a video on it. But currently, I would agree that there's quite a few problems here. But I'm still enjoying the MCU. They're still giving me not as good content, but good enough content. So, I watched Love and Thunder. That's my review for it. My spoilers too. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews if you like this video. I'm going to be doing a ranking of the Thor movies next. And then also, we're going to be talking about the rest of the MCU whenever She-Hulk comes out. I might do episode-to-episode discussions, or I might do, like, 3 episodes at a time. And then also whenever Wakanda Forever comes out when I see it in theaters, I'll be doing a review for that. So you can look forward to that. And then also my video on Phase 4 whenever that comes out, whenever Phase 4 ends. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Braden. This is Max Reviews. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Braden out.